DB12 gets the eyeballs, DBX makes the money, but Vantage is sort of a bellwether for the Aston Martin brand. If the Vantage is good, the rest of the lineup is usually stellar. This Vantage certainly looks the part, but it is up to the task of shouldering that weight. Design-wise, the grille is larger, which lets more air in, more cooling is just good overall, but size-wise, the wheels are 21s. I love this side strake redesign, but the coolest part has to be the shoulder line, the way it shapes the car.
Obviously, the best part of an Aston Martin is driving safely. And here, on the roads in southern Spain, everything you want it to be. And that's because we've got power. We've got a powerful package here in the Vantage. 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine under the hood. It's derived from, or it starts life as an AMG motor, a hand-built motor, then Aston takes it and totally tunes and recalibrates it to their specs. And here we're making 656 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. That's 128 horsepower and 80 plus pound-feet of torque more than the prior Vantage. That is a massive leap forward. We've got a new ZF transaxle 8-speed gearbox. It shifts faster, it's more responsive. They've moved the paddles to the steering wheel instead of on the column, so they turn with the wheel, which is a nice feature. And then you've just got all of that coupled with a stiffer chassis. Specific Michelin tires designed for this car. The Bilstein dampers just soak up the road or get stiffer if you want to adjust the suspension settings. And you don't need to just go through the different drive modes. There's 5 of them. There's wet, individual.
600 meters, turn right onto N435, signs for Valverde del Camino, Huelva.
There's wet, individual, sport, which is the default mode, sport plus, and then a track mode. But down here to my right, I have a thing for the traction control, the exhaust noise, and the suspension, and I can adjust those individually. So I'm in Sport Plus, but I relaxed the suspension a bit. It all adds up to just an amazing package of a machine. It's probably technically the best driving Vantage ever. It has to be. Just there's a lot thrown at this car to make it.
Turn right onto N435, signs for Valverde del Camino, Huelva.
The better machine that it always could be.
Continue on N435 for 4 kilometers.
And then you top that up with improvements to the center stack here and the screens. You have 2 10.25 inch screens, one ahead of the driver, one down here. This one is angled nicely. You have plenty of actual buttons left, which is really good. You don't have to dive through menus to find a bunch of stuff. The rotary knob in the center is what adjusts the different drive modes, or if you put it into the more aggressive traction setting, where it lets the E-Diff do its thing, it defaults that. Nissan control. It let it do its thing. It starts in 5, which gives you a little bit of wheel slip. If you go to 1, let's go all the way to 1. That's like no wheel slip. That's I just want to be safe. If you go to 8, that's the most amount of wheel slip before you get to 9, which is just traction off. And maybe we'll play with that in a little bit. But for now, here on the road, the seat is fantastic. This is the standard seat. There's also a carbon seat, which is available in the US market. In the past, that wasn't always the case, but we can get the carbon seat as an option here. This one is also fitted with the optional Bowers and Wilkins. It's a Bowers and Wilkins system, and then there's an upgraded Bowers and Wilkins system, I believe. This is the upgraded sound system, which I can't play for you, because that doesn't make sense in a video. I will tell you, It's fantastic. I've never met a Bowers & Wilkins system I didn't like, and this one is exceptional. So the overall driving experience, Aston's goal with this car is to push both the luxury and the performance of its brand and with the Vantage, and they've done that. It feels really nice, the screens are better, everything works better than it has in the past, and then the performance is in a new level for the Vantage. But I have to say, the best place to experience it is still, it is a wonderful Grand Touring type super sports car. It is awesome out here on the road.
It's also one hell of an excellent machine here on the track. And that sounds like a simple, obvious statement, but that's not always the case. Not every car that's good on the road is good on the track. But Aston worked hard to add more cooling so that it can run in hotter temperatures, so it can be out here for longer and just give you the thrills that you want. They've worked with Michelin to develop these Pilot Sport 5 tires, specifically not just for Aston, but for Vantage specifically. And here on the circuit, Monteblanco in Spain, which is a fun, flowy course, we're really getting to see what this car can do. So playful, it's so fun. It wants to rotate, but it's controllable. And I have it in traction mode 7. You can actually adjust this through 9 different traction modes, which sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's not confusing. 1 gives you the least amount of slip wheel spin. It gives you none. 5 is right in the middle, and it's a fun, playful balance. But as this track is drying out, I want to try a little more and have some fun. So I'm in 7. And then maybe later on today we'll go up to 8 or 9 just to see what is going on here. But it's a track I've never driven before until this morning, and I'm sitting on the wrong side of the car for me, but man is this thing a blast. Here we go, let's pull onto the main straight, dab into the big brakes, which do not want to fade. A quick note about the brakes specifically here on the Vantage. I had to chime in. I'd be remiss if I didn't. While I was filming this, I was in the morning track session while others were driving the road. This part specifically I'm filming was in the second of 3 track sessions for myself. During the 3rd stint out on the track, I actually had a soft pedal moment, but I eased up and everything came right back. The people in the afternoon came in for their stints, and then some of them had some soft pedal moments as well. But I have to say, this track promotes incredibly high speeds. When we're braking into turn 1, we're coming down from 260K, which I think is 160 miles an hour or so. Hard on the brakes, constantly. Aston Martin, I didn't see them change pads or rotors the whole time. They didn't change tires the whole time. And they were letting us beat on these cars. So to do that many stints, and only to have some soft pedal stuff, which is probably just down not to pads but to fluid. So if you maybe went with a more aggressive brake fluid in the car, or you could go pads as well, but we were putting so much heat into those front tires as well, especially the left front tire was really pushing into these turns. We're asking a lot of the brakes of the tires, and they didn't start to get a fade moment until later on into the day, which is really impressive for what's essentially a luxury high-end super sports car. We asked a lot of the vehicles and they really delivered, but there were a few instances of a soft pedal. Had to note it. And here we go, let's give it the beats. All right. Good God, 260K. Before I'm jamming on the brakes here for this tight uphill right, slight uphill. Oh my God, that's fun. And kudos to Aston for not being afraid to let us pass each other on the track, because sometimes you have these events and they're like, all right, lead follow, keep it in line. No, they have their pro hot shoe, Le Mans winner, Nürburgring winner, Darren Turner out here giving us the line and saying, go at it and have fun. And I gotta tell you, I'm having a lot of fun. Just bites and goes, but you have confidence because the steering feel is excellent. The brake feel is fantastic and confidence inspiring. These Michelins are great as well. And then just the added chassis stiffness. Man, just ripping a Vantage on the back straight. It's my happy place. I know the 911 is the logical choice, but the Aston is the one that makes your soul sing. And the one this song is singing is one of Aston's best. Design-wise, the outside is awesome, but the inside is really well done too. The wheel's on the wrong side.